As I search for the white dove, I wonder if she searches for me. Or if my hopes of finding her are nothing more than an ill-conceived fantasy. You see...
Yeah. Occasionally I do auditing as my profession, pays for the rent.
Salutations, mortals, and welcome to From the Jump. I'm your host, Oken, and today we have the funny man himself, Janji. Janji, what's happening, man? Tell these people about yourself. Let them know who you is.
Yo, Oken, what's up, man? Hi, everybody, mortals and others. My name is Janji. I'm a part-time comedian, full-time legend.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I do a bit of jokes. I do directing of jokes. I do jokes, man, on as a hobby.
Now, when we say as a hobby, I know that you started doing, comedy. I mean, you've always been a funny guy. I've known you most of your life also. So, but in that being funny, like when people look at you and they're like, hold on, this guy's a comedian and an auditor. Like, how the fuck do those two things go together? Like, I've never met a funny auditor. Like, can you talk to us how you actually like consolidated to it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you?
Yeah, no. So I had to get out. The auditing game was deep, was cutting my soul. Don't play that to my employer, previous or current. But it was definitely something that I could. I tried to just get out of my comfort zone a little bit with it. It took a while, but then I did try out this. A friend of mine had this thing called Last Comic Standing. They do every once in a while. So it was definitely just a get over your insecurities or whatever the case, or try something new, basically. And that's what I did. I ventured into something that I thought I could do, and it turned out I could do it. So I do it.
Oh, now, The thing is, you're not just only on stage. You're part of a greater organization that actually puts together comedic shows and has created a platform for other comics to actually come out and be on. Could you talk to us about, that of from being on stage to now being like, hold up, let me just take a bit of a back seat and also play, put on my other hat, the organizational hat and all that.
I like that. I founded. It always sounds nice. I founded Winter Comedy Club. So what happened was I felt that maybe we could do with a bit more comedic presence in our circles, and it's more is always a bit better for me. It's not necessarily a competition. It's just offering of more of a given talent, even variety. Even if it's just comedy, but different comedy houses. So I was in Cape Town a couple of years back, and then I actually went to the comedy club that they have there. And it seemed pretty simple. I mean, they had it on Sundays in like an old warehouse kind of vibe. And I saw this thing, and it was just like there were two new gents that they introduced up that I never met before. Not met, but I've never come across them. One guy is actually KG. He's big now in SA. And he was just like funny as hell, but he just seemed like so unorthodox. But, there wasn't a lot of hype around him, but he just came on and he did some really really funny sets. And I figured that maybe we can try to do this back home, but obviously to start off on a very micro scale, given the fact that it's not my 8 to 5, but it's something that I would like to bring out there. So I started off with my immediate circles, obviously, of the guys that I knew that do jokes. And I just asked these guys whether they would be keen to, put something together. Obviously, I tried to plan as much of it, but just get the guys on stage, because it's always a matter of, guys who are funny, but you just don't know whether you can get them on stage, or they don't even know whether they can challenge themselves to get to stage. So pretty much the same reflection as ours, but just opening it up to everybody else who wants to do it. You don't need to be a full-time comedian to, try it out. Have some fun, do something else, and it's a new offering to the public as well. If you can try to get some, it's not entry level, because you want to give a bit of coaching to it before they do it. But, we have like these sessions beforehand where we sit down some Saturdays, we just go through each other's lines, jokes, go through lines. Jokes. And then we just try to craft it nicely and put like a nice package on stage. So we do the howler now at Woolshack. The idea is to try and just set up something that is more consistent than just like once a year or something like that. So very smaller scale. We try to push about 100 people in there and just get random guys, sit them down, get them structured of jokes, and then we go on stage and then we have a good time, man. You know.
No way. Now I've been to one of those shows, so I know exactly how funny it gets. I mean, it's hilarious. You guys, but this is the thing, right? So people just think that comedians just get up and, you know, hey, that guy's funny, he's just going to go do things. But as you say, you guys actually meet up however long, weeks before the show actually even gets together, and you guys are going through lines, you're going through like each other's, like, you know, jokes to see, all right, I see what your set is kind of doing. Now, do you guys do this more so that your collaborations, when you like the show rolls better? You know, is that one of the reasons that you do this, to make sure that the quality of the show is up to scratch, and of course the jokes are a consistent punch? Or is it more of a thing that you just like, you want to know what people are going to say on stage to make sure it doesn't fuck out?
So yeah, it's a bit of both, actually, to be honest. The one aspect is for sure to make sure that the comics that are going on stage on the day don't repeat jokes. So on a topic level, for sure, we do a bit of an assessment on that. Just everybody gives in what they're about to do, and we just start crafting the show together, because everybody's going to be on stage at some point, and you want it to flow. You want the guy to be the most nervous, or the newest guy, or, you know, like he needs to go on first. You know, he needs to warm up to a fresh crowd, and not to have too much pressure of somebody else going on and giving it a good set before he does. So it's all about a bit of structure, depending on the content, depending on, you know, what hits best. You know, you want to get a good punch at the end as well. So everybody basically knows by the time that you're presenting material and, you know, working through that, you'll know that you're either going last, or you're going to host, or you're going to do, or go in first, that kind of thing. So it's definitely a lot of prep. It's also to help as well, because sometimes you structure a joke in your mind, but then it could add a bit of a better spin if you just present it some other way, or add a different angle to it. So we're just trying to make sure that we craft each other with this kind of thing as well, you know. You don't have to, it's not a competition. You don't have to have the funniest guy, but as long as everything is funny, then you win, isn't it?
There we go. Now, you see, I say this too because, as you know, I'm all about collaborations, and I believe that collaborative work is that's the way, you know, that's how we learn. It's how we further our crafts. And I would like to ask you this question, you know, as a person that came up seeing comedy before, you know, it wasn't like you just woke up one day and were like, hey man, I'm gonna be a comedian now. It's time. I'm going in. You know what I mean? So what would be your piece of advice to like an up and coming creative, or an up and coming person that is thinking about veering into the comedy lane?
Look, it might be a bit harsh, but it's more of a self-reflection. You gotta know yourself, whether you have a passion for it, and by passion it means that you probably do it good. You know, it's for yourself. You shouldn't have to struggle with yourself and, you know, beat yourself too much about it. If you know, if it's more hard work than fun work, then you're probably overdoing it. So you know, you gotta find yourself in that balance, in the sense that how much effort are you willing to put into it? Like, honestly, are you doing this as a hobby? Are you doing this full time? Do you want to get somewhere? You gotta at least understand what is your position that you want to play in this art. So with that, then you can actually devote the right amount of time, the right amount of energy into it, and then you can definitely be satisfied with the product that you have at the end of the day. If you obviously are not satisfied with your product, it means that you're either pushing for more, or you need to do more, or maybe this is not the art that you want to be in exactly. Or it could be you're hitting it like on the side. You're not necessarily a comedian, but you're an MC, or you're not necessarily a rapper, you're a poet, you know, something like that. You know, just try, understand yourself, be real with yourself, you know. Try not to copy too much of something else. You know, make sure that it's your product, it's your being. It's easy for you. It's maybe hard to the final product, but then for you to work on it, it doesn't feel like stressful. It doesn't feel like you're not getting it right.
Like an uphill battle, you know? The whole time type of
100%. You gotta feel like, you know, it's a give and take. Like, I'm putting this down on paper. I like the joke. It swings back at you, and then you just keep writing. You know, you just gotta build. You gotta cultivate yourself.
Got you.
That is maybe.
All right, now that's a great piece of advice. To really like make sure you're you know who you are in your, like, play your position, but know your position. You know, like,
Know
if you
your
don't know your
position,
position,
yeah.
you can't play your position.
Yeah, you can't strike when you keep it's weird.
Got you. Now, Janji, I have questions that I ask, you know, or I try to ask every interviewee, and it's just so that generally there's a bit of a consistency throughout, you know, these interviews, because all of you people are like different. It's not like everybody's a comedian that I'm interviewing, you know. Some people are rappers, some people are designers. All right, yeah, I don't know what just happened there. Did you make a wish?
Money, fam. Coming.
Got you. I want my deposit. Anyway,
Yeah, it's coming.
So my question is, all right, so this is a serious question. It's serious time, right? This is one of the most serious questions that I ask, and it goes like this. Superheroes or supervillains? Which side do you choose? And anti-heroes are on the supervillain side. So Deadpool and all those guys are on villains. Yeah. See, I told you it was serious.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unfair question, to be honest.
Go on.
And, yeah, because you can't really have a superhero without the villain, in it, right? So then it's just gonna be a hero and a villain, regular niggas, not really super, you know. I don't know, but I feel that, okay, if you want to choose a side, it just means that side is dominant, or it's made it. It's not really a battle anymore. And the superhero, I mean, you gotta have the enemy, the villain, you know, the all-time villain for every superhero to make it a story, to make it worth the while of having this mutant motherfucker trying to save the world. You know what I mean? So,
got you.
But obviously, for the good of things, ethically speaking. Superheroes, but I think some super villains are badass, man. So you can take a look at, you know,
one side or the other, my bro. Just choose. Are you going with superheroes or super villains? This is why I think this is the most serious question.
I think super villains, man, because their job is it's sparked out of their own ambition. Instead of a superhero trying to combat somebody else's ambition. I mean, world domination, supervillain. Superhero needs to stop supervillain from world domination. Where superhero could have just done it the motherfucking thing himself, you know?
Got you. Okay,
yeah,
okay. So you're going with the villains. You're on the villain side.
I'm going with villains. Fuck it.
This is my next question, by the way.
Right.
How are you finding, how are you actually generating funds for yourself? Because it's not like you can get on stage and I mean for your company. I'm not talking about through your 9-to-5 job. I'm talking about for Venture Comedy Club. How are you able to keep things on that side afloat? What avenues are you looking at pushing?
Yeah, see, the good thing about Winter Comedy Club at this stage is that it's got very little to fuck all overheads right now. So it can be dormant when it requires to be at the stage in time.
All right, I got you.
We're definitely at more of an R&D phase of things. I'm really thinking about just what happens, what must drop as soon as, you know, things slowly start to normalize. You know, what can we do? Because predominantly, we mustn't forget the fact that my vision for Winter Comedy Club is that it has to be a stage thing. And many people, comedians and, you know, influencers or whatever you call anyone with a smartphone, are really pushing a lot of material online. And I get it. There's a lot of funny shit. They may not take that away from anybody. There's funny shit. You know, I keep sharing that other funny shit on Instagram.
Oh, those quarantine day 1 to 18.
Man, you know what I mean? Like that, it's decent, right? And I suppose it's for those. It's in again, like it's in the guy's art. You know, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at doing a young funny clip, Mad Libs voiceover. It's not my thing. I can't. I do the thing on stage, and that's exactly what Winter Comedy Club was really intrinsically all about. So, my plans right now is definitely trying to see how we can bring that slowly out once we get back into we'll start trusting each other again, obviously. So, smaller session. If you can do like a 50 people kind of event or something like that, or like a pop-up kind of comedy show. That kind of is what I'm going to have to start looking at. You have to change the way you're going to deliver the same product that you wanted to do,
exactly,
and not necessarily change the product at all. There's enough people pushing things online, so me adding extra to that is not really going to be what I want to be the value for money for the guys who follow into Comedy Club. But of course, it takes a hit because now people are expecting jokes, but there's no stage. So we have looked at the Zoom thing also. It's just a lot of technicalities, man, and people's Wi-Fi aren't always the same. Other guys got telecom, other guys got... You know what I'm saying?
And Zoom pauses on you every now and then anyway, even if you're good, things happen.
And nobody wants to tell a joke to a camera, man. It's a bit weird, so...
Now, just a bit more on the collaboration aspect, are there certain people that you always collaborate with, or like is there a finite number that you're like, look, man, I only work with these people and fuck everybody else? Or, do you also continuously look for other people that you could collaborate with? And if so, how does that interaction look like?
So there is always the interaction of collaboration with people that you feel are going to fit in your... Sorry, excuse me, that was rude. In your space, like if I'm trying to pull as diverse a crowd, I have to get a guy on stage who can actually speak to a diverse crowd. So it's not just any comic, because then anybody with an accent, no shots fired, can most go on stage. But what I'm saying is that that approach always comes with the financial aspect, because now these guys are like, yeah, I can do a set 2,515 minutes. And with all due respect, I'm not in a position to be paying people 2,500 for 15 minutes. I don't think that the show itself makes enough money for that kind of push-out. And I respect everybody on their hustle, right? No stress. Which is why I also believe that if my focus group is more upcoming guys, it's definitely there is reimbursement, of course. For
you're trying to exploit nobody.
I'm not trying to exploit, but there's also the opportunity of that training, the coaching that we try to do together as a group. There is that small level networking. We do a bit of promotional work as well. So you don't really do a lot by yourself except write the script. But I try to give, and I know we hate the word exposure, and I'm not only using exposure, but it's exposure with reimbursement. We're trying to put not only my brand, but I really want to put as much of this person's brand out as possible. I do collaborate a lot with Mike and with Barry, only because there's a plan in place for them as well. Nishi is my resident DJ also, so it goes without saying. He's also, he's part of the
family,
of the team, so of the family. I like family, so. There's those guys, but like I said, I keep trying to branch out to other comics also who are not necessarily doing their own thing. I mean, if you are doing your own thing, it's nice to leverage on each other. But if you have, like, you're just an individual, you can jump on here to platform yourself or to something else. I don't want the shine. It's not about the shine. So yeah, man. And I tried to reach out to a particular lady comic.
Mm-hmm. She don't like you.
I think she doesn't like me. I really think she doesn't like me. But it's okay, man. So the reach out is there at least. No hard feelings. We move on. But I can't. Some people you got corporate rates. I can't pay you corporate rates, fam. So.
And that's totally understandable. We can all also only adapt to what we can do. You're trying something new here. You're trying to establish something. There's no way you can be paying full price. And if people don't want to understand that, that's also their thing. I truly believe my price is my price, unless I fucks with what you're doing. Like, if it's a movement that I'm about, or it's something that I'm trying to support and bring light to, then I'll drop my price. But not if you asking me from the jump, no, you must only do it for $1,000. I'm like, no, fuck that, bro. And take your $1,000 and go hire somebody else. Don't hire me then. And that again goes to the whole thing of how people approach things, And as a creative, this is what I'm actually trying to ask you is, do you feel that in collaborating across, art forms, do you feel that enough credit and enough support is given to comedians the same way that it's given to like rappers, singers, to poets, like with all those platforms that are up, do you feel like enough is being done to help push the comedic industry in Namibia?
I don't know how to fairly answer that question. I think without stepping on toes, I really feel that I feel there's a lot of siloing, grouping in this game, in this comedy game, in all games actually. There's a lot of things. There's this thing that happens where if you know someone, you can support someone and not necessarily fucks with the art, right? Mm-hmm. And that kind of throws this whole thing of collaboration off, because then some guys will just not fuck with you because you're not one of them, even though you guys really do the same thing, or you don't have enough following, or your influence, or it's direct competition. They feel like it's a competition. I can't really share the cake, the pie with you. Yeah. Or some guys are just doing it because it's almost like a feature. Like when Cardi B features on your song, it's just because you want to get some likes and not because she's actually a really good rapper. You know what I mean? So,
oh shit, that's definitely shots fired.
I fucking hate Cardi B, fam. I don't know how she got there. Mad off topic, but I can't with that level of ignorance. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Cool. You go hate on Cardi B. It's fun music, bro. That's all it is. It's about the fun music.
Away than other people, not me. It's cool. It doesn't need to change anything also. She's great. I like her. But the thing is, again, it all depends on, like you said, the energy that you have in the collaboration. And I mean, if you can do something, it's different with the art forms, and we can just keep meshing that shit in, it will probably be a bigger social contributor if we work more together, if we collaborate across fields, across different art forms. That way your reach is a lot better, because now everybody who just follows Gaza will always just do Gaza, and somebody who's always doing Lioness will always do Lioness until you bring Lioness crosses with this other group, and then all of a sudden these following groups mesh, and then you got a bigger following. Then you basically just increase your base, the art base. We should increase the art base. We need to have a lot more rappers that do. Remember those times we used to have those remixes, those 15-minute remix, Busta Rhymes, and
everybody just jumping on.
All of those motherfuckers. I mean, that show was cool. I mean, obviously it was too long. But that kind of just like you're bringing a lot of people in for the fun of it, for the fun of the art. You do like something together, something beautiful together. Yeah. That is what I want to see happen. And with that kind of collaboration, you have a lot more. What is it? What the views? Not views. Image, sight, whatever. Reach for the top.
No, and trust me, it is coming. I know it's coming because I'm part of the people that is trying to bring you guys something like that. So, that's just to say that creativity doesn't have any limits, and nobody should limit their creativity based on the advice or views of other people that probably aren't even doing anything creative to begin with. So I truly believe that creatives can push themselves further by learning more, from others.
Yeah.
That only happens through collaboration, like we were saying, and then I have the last question for you, my brother. This one, This one is more of a personal question. I need to know the answer to know if this interview even continues. But it is the last question, so that's kind of weird. So here comes the question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza or nah?
Nah, fam.
What? Okay, go on.
Nah.
It's food, bro.
I'm not
explain to me.
Okay, let me make it very clear. I'm not going to not eat the pizza if it has pineapple.
But wait.
However,
okay,
if I'm going to select topping, I'm not putting pineapple on my pizza. I'm not that picky, but if you want me to be picky, I'm like, no pineapple.
Okay, so it's not like you're gonna take the pizza slice and take the pineapple pieces off it. You're still gonna
Look. If the pizza has pineapple, I'm gonna eat it. But if it's my choice to select topping, it's not going to have pineapple.
Do you enjoy the pizza if it has pineapple on it, or does it spoil the pizza?
There's hardly a pizza that I don't enjoy. It's just the fact that If I want maximum enjoyment from something, I'm going to select more meat than fruit. Veggie, what?
All right, so it's not that you have a problem with pineapple on pizza. You just think it's taking up space that could be held by more meat.
Okay, you see, that's exactly it. How many toppings can we have? I mean, if we can have all of them, then fine, put the pineapple. I don't care. I'm not paying extra. It's fine. Put the pineapple. I don't care.
Oh my god. I
don't care.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been From the Jump. This has been Janji, the one, the only. Thanks for coming through, my brother. Thanks for coming through for real, man. Like, I know people are gonna, get a little bit of information out of this. Also, just on the inner workings, the back end of the funny man stuff.
Yeah, man. Let's collaborate, man. I like the fact that you're asking those questions. Let the other guys know also, man. We're out here.
And internationally, so yeah, plug yourself, man. Let people know where they can follow you, where they can get to you.
It's coming. Yeah, I actually want to push more people through the Vintu Comedy Club. That also gets the other guys also visible. So check us on Facebook, Instagram. I just set up the YouTube. I'm also going to put some material on there. So
nothing more than an ill-conceived fantasy. You see, I constantly think about one, yet seem to dream about another, making it almost impossible to visualize myself being with